Welcome to this Killik Explains finance video. This week, 3 ways that retirement could change from the 8th of June. Now, unless you've been living on Mars, the 8th of June is a fairly important date. Theresa May's Conservatives have a comfortable poll in what's been called the snap election, because we weren't necessarily expecting it on the 8th of June. Now, pollsters have shown themselves to be wrong. They got Brexit more or less wrong. They got the election of Donald Trump wrong, but let's assume this time they might be right. And this time, Theresa May will probably win. Now, this is not a political video, I should stress. But that means the Conservative manifesto is an important document because what's in there is quite likely to happen. So, 3 proposals are in there that will have quite a big impact on many retirees and people saving and investing towards retirement. So I want to take a quick look at those. This is not political, it's just saying be aware of what's coming down the track. The exact details, the exact timing, the exact amounts involved, we won't know for sure, but the principles we do know about. So, proposal number 1, the pensions triple lock will end. What is that all about? Why does that matter? Well, the state pension currently rises annually at the higher of 3 numbers: wage inflation, general inflation, and 2.5% fixed. And basically, we've seen that this year because the maximum state pension rose by about £4 up to just over £159 per week. So the 2.5% fixed is going to be dropped. In other words, there won't be a fixed minimum by which the pension rises annually. So in effect, this system will become a sort of double lock. So you'll be left, in theory, if this doesn't change, with the higher of wage inflation and general inflation. So far, so good. So what's this going to mean? Well, watch out. Wage growth has been fairly stagnant. So the wage growth measure is not going to give you a big boost on your pension, but dropping the 2.5% fixed increase might not matter in the sense that inflation is gently rising at the moment. And by 2020, when this will become the new rule, if you like, inflation may see you get more than 2.5% as an annual increase on the state pension. The important point, though, is the principle here. In effect, the triple lock's becoming a double lock. Who knows in the future, it might just become a lock and then vanish altogether. So it's the point that the triple lock appears to be on the way out if the Conservatives win and if they implement their manifesto as it currently looks. So watch out for that one. Number 2. Winter fuel payments, it would seem, are going to be means tested. Now, winter fuel payments, how does it work? The current winter fuel payment is essentially a universal benefit. You get it pretty much, whoever you are, whatever your assets, whatever you've got as a retirement income, doesn't really matter. It is worth between £100 and £300 per year, depending on your age. Essentially, if you're over 80, you're probably going to get the £300 for doing very little. Right? It more or less arrives in your bank account with a simple bit of form filling. The new system will make a payment to those in fuel poverty only. So, why does that matter? Well, basically that could have quite a big impact on the number of people who get the winter fuel payment. Basically, the Department of Energy reckon that only around 11% of UK households would qualify. That's where 10% or more of their household income goes on energy, essentially. So, basically, quite a few retirees will lose that payment. Now, some people are saying, well, it shouldn't go to rich retirees with big assets and big incomes anyway. Nonetheless, it looks to be on the way out. And the principle maybe of not just giving universal benefits could ripple through to other areas, who knows. So it's often the change in principle that's worth watching as much as the actual change in the numbers. Now, number 3, probably the biggie. This is the one that hit all the headlines, caused what looks like a kind of reversal, change of track, just after it was announced. So the funding of long-term care is due to change. Now the devil's in the detail, this is just a summary, but watch out for this one, it has caused a lot of controversy already. So currently, and this is just a summary, care at home ring fences your home. So essentially, there are, broadly speaking, 3 ways you might be cared for in old age. There's medical, paid for by the NHS, but only if you suffer from certain conditions. And that essentially takes you out of having to use your own assets. Then there's care either in, say, a residential stroke nursing home or in your home, called domiciliary. And basically, if you have care in your home and it's not defined as medical, paid for by the NHS, then essentially, under the current system, you can be required to run your assets, all your assets down to 23,000, but not your home. Your home is kind of ring-fenced. Under the new system, basically, Theresa May started off by saying, let's reverse the principle. Let's put a floor under your assets. So basically, under the new system, you'll be allowed to keep £100,000. But that's after you've run down everything, including your home, to pay for care in your home, let's say. And that's quite a big change. And then what they've said is because you will be drawing on your home like a kind of piggy bank Current equity release schemes in the private sector are not that brilliant. They can be tricky beasts, so the state will introduce some kind of new equity release scheme on better terms, which will mean you're paying sort of a lower rate of interest and so on. So the idea will be you can stay in your home, be looked after, but the home, when it's sold, will have to repay any sort of debt to the state, is the idea. Now that caused quite a hoo-ha, this principle that your home could be at risk when you receive care in the home. So we've seen a bit of a reversal already. All right, so in summary, those cared for at home are not required to use the capital in their home to pay for long-term care at the moment. They can be required to run other assets, investments, cash and so on, down to around 23,000 basically. Under the new system, we will see a floor put under your assets of £100,000, but everything else will be fair game when it comes to paying for care, however you receive that care and assuming it's non-medical. All right, Theresa May has suggested now there will be a cap. So basically the brouhaha was people saying, well, hang on a minute, crikey, what about that proposal to cap the total amount that people will ever have to contribute towards long-term care? Where did that go? And the answer is it appeared in draft 1 of the manifesto to vanish. Then there was a lot of, as I say, song and dance people saying, oh, well, this is crazy, this is like almost uncapped care costs potentially people are going to have to pay. So now she appears to reverse track and said there will be some kind of cap on the total amount you pay, but they're not going to spell out how much and they're not going to spell out the timing, so watch that space. But big changes potentially underway here. There you have it then, 3 places that savers and investors should watch the Conservative manifesto, and if you want to know more, please email me, editor@killik.com, and to see related videos, please go to killik.com/learn.